Okay, so should look pretty apparent here that I've been fleshing out this level with some BSP in the actual game. Today I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm going through on the design level. This stage, what I have here, is pretty much everything that I had designed out in Maya and said, yes, this looks really good, this looks like a level that I want, and I've done a little bit of playing with it. And it is a really good level. It works, flows very nice, but it's not complete and it's not balanced properly. As you should notice from the descriptions I have of the Ninja mod, I want all of the levels to be playable in all forms. So this will be played as a single player level, it will also be played as a deathmatch level, it will also be played as a capture the flag level, and as a deathmatch level it's looking pretty good. And I have a few good plans for the single player portion, but it's a little bit unbalanced for a CTF match. I figure this back here is where I'll be having the blue flag, and in this here I can have the other flag. But it's all one-sided, not very balanced well. There's something it needs more, and what I figure it would probably do the best with is if I could connect this red flag room around somewhere into here so you can get into there, and maybe something on the other side where the blue flag is around up into there. And in this room up here, I'm really not sure what I'm going to do with it. I have iffy feelings about this series of rooms back here, and I like everything that I have here. It's just a matter of, well, what else do I need to add to it because it's still missing something. And so moving along on the process, this map is where I have made some of those changes and adjustments. And we can see, starting off here from the blue flag room, some stairs to just give it some extra length to balance it with the other side, into a narrow room here that looks kind of interesting, and it connects into this room that I didn't quite know what to do with. Added a little bit in there. Then we have in here to balance out with how the blue flag room has this long path around where you can take the flag and jump straight down, but at the same time, if you get back up, you get to go all the way around here and up and around and whatnot. To balance out for that amount of time, I did something similar but different in this room, where you actually go in straight there, jump up to either of these ledges, and run all the way back, and up on the top here is where the flag is. Which is not... it looks not exactly bad, although it does have a questionably long corridor that you could snipe all the way down, and then of course that would also negatively affect performance issues, as you'd have to be able to render all that whole scene. This just doesn't look quite what I want. Then on this side we have connection between the that rooms and the that room. Some room with a bunch of that will be filled with a lot of pipe work, some machinery and whatnot, coming into a little pathway with like a vat of slime on the sides, up the stairs and right into here. Oh, and I also extended out the underhalls, which I didn't talk about already, but them I'm really wondering what I'm supposed to do with, because they're there, and I do want them there, and I understand that they're not going to be a primary access. They're not going to be something that is going to be used a lot, and they're not a high they're not a high advantage for tactics, but I still have them. I still want them to be there so they have that option, but where does this one lead? And that one can connect there, but it still offsets things and has to wonder about, and I connected this straight way into here. I don't know, it doesn't work right. And this just doesn't look right. A lot of it doesn't feel right. And I got some feedback by having my brother play, and he said that it just made it too big. even if it is balanced, and it provides those extra paths. And I think what it is it doesn't match the flow of the rest of the level. When I built all of this with the little cooling towers on the side to add some depth and turret-like feel to the rooms, I did this all under a sort of inspiration from some of the maps from Quake 2. May come as a surprise to some of you, and some of you might see the vague similarities. But yet, when I look at rooms like here, it feels more like this came out of something from Doom 2. And the whole concept of having this slime vat out here on the side and those pipes doesn't feel like it belongs in this level. And it's mostly an ineffable thing. So I tried revising it yet again. Now this is my revision that I made. Now we have, coming from the flag room, a bit of a different design into here. Instead of stairs, we've just got an elevator. This feels more uniform. I like it. It works better with this theme. Revised this room just a little bit, and it comes into here where I made a slight revision. And I think I may even yet revise it more to see if I can bend it around so that this room comes into a doorway on this wall, like I was thinking it would when I first designed all of this. And then, out on the other side, from where we have that first corridor that you saw me making, instead of a room of vats, it just comes into yet another such styled corridor, and this time I do have those cooling vents on the exact edges of that doorway, and it bends a little and comes into another room, and in here I cut open a window into the courtyard, and it connects into the red flag room, which I also made a revision in. Instead of being a long straight run, it's actually a bending course, but it still has the two ways that you can take it, and it still has that very nice looking platform that you have to run under where the flag is. And I definitely like the change here. And this other room, it certainly looks well, it works well, and it even connects out here into our little underhall sewage area. And overall, I'm liking this about 10 times more, but at the same time I feel like it's so much less dramatic, so much less special. It's kind of boring and mundane. I just copied over the same style of hallway, and now it's going to be easier to confuse which hallway you're in, because it's all going to look the same. And that's where I am right now. And I still need to go over some play testing, see how well it feels in the game, see how well it flows in the game. And I'm still not satisfied with these underhalls, and I still got this one corridor that I don't know where it's going to lead to. So just what do I do here? Well, I don't know yet. I don't have the answer yet. I'm still putting it together. It's just where I stand right now. Although one thing I will mention, the complaint I had with that last stage was that it was too big. And here I am, I've added in pretty much just as much room, it's just less ornate. How does that work? Does it still feel too big? I mean, it doesn't look as big and complex anymore, but yet it's covering just as much surface area. Have I really taken care of the problem then? You know, I wonder if what I could do in the single-player aspect is maybe do a lot of level streaming for that. And this would actually just be one portion of where 3 other levels all interconnect. And I could separate those individual levels for the individual portions for deathmatch, but in single-player it'll just be one extremely large arena. It's a thought. Might work. Kinda like it. Although it would require a little bit more effort than I was thinking I would have, but I figure I can work that one out when I flesh out the single-player aspect in greater detail. At this moment, since I don't have the single-player aspect ready to fly, I'm working on the multiplayer aspect, and hopefully I'll soon be able to add the changes I need so that the multiplayer will actually play as it should. And that's where we stand this week. Thank you.